How we doing? Audio check. I'm using my Mini and I've got noise cancellation activated, so I'm wondering how well you can hear me and if you can hear the water in the background. Do you have audio? Okay, awesome. You know, I don't really think this little light's cutting it. I think we need something a little bit stronger. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Yeah, plenty deep enough to swim in, but not deep enough to jump in. The water level is still pretty low compared to what it usually is. But it's a beautiful little spot. I love it. Give you a view upstream. My little swimming hole is just further up here, but oh yeah, definitely. I switched flashlights. The first one I was using was just my little MT1A night core, and now I'm UC Pro. So this is like what, 400 lumens, 800 lumens. The other one's 1800 lumens. I think it makes a bit of a difference. But we're gonna head up the river a little bit. I got a good little swimming place picked out. Gotta kind of get myself down on the rocks here. How did I step up? It was, I don't know. It sucks having a bum hip. I gotta be really careful on my routes, especially descent. Trekking pole for the win. Get eyes on the chat. All right. It's tough. The chest rig keeps my phone really close to my chin and face, so I can't really see the chat and give you a good view at the same time. Otherwise, you'd be staring at my feet so I could read along. But in a minute, I'll get the phone in the tripod when I get in the water and start swimming. They say the 25 Ultra is waterproof. I have actually swam with it once. Took video and everything. But I don't plan on doing it again. My camera lenses are compromised. Get you a slightly better view. Show you what's going on here. This is where it starts to narrow and deepen up. And I got a little surprise here. Last time I realized I had pretty shitty lighting while I was swimming, so I did something a bit different. Let's see if that shows up. That's all. You can't see the little bit in the middle there. That's all in the water. And then that's what it looks like. So yeah, I'm gonna go swimming in a few minutes. Save battery power a little bit. But this is one of my favorite little swimming holes. It's pretty easy to get to. I've had a long day at work. Nobody's around, but maybe a couple fish hiding in the bottom. On my live last night, I caught a pretty decent sized one on film about a 4-inch crayfish in the bottom. But funny story, when I got here last night, changed into my bathing suit, was getting my stuff ready at my car, and I heard a little bit of rustling behind me. I was using the red light on my headlamp, and I turn around and I see multiple sets of eyes looking back at me, and an entire family of raccoons had snuck up on me out of the woods and was like 5 feet away when I turned around. And so I flipped my light from red to white and just asked them, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" And they just all scattered like it was a gunshot when they heard human speech. But cute little trash pandas, but they were up to no good, absolutely. So further up there is a little waterfall. You can kind of see a bit of the water flow peeking above that rock there. Maybe we'll take a walk there before I jump in down here. It's just under 80 degrees, but it's still soupy humid. And that water is nice and cool. So I look forward to getting in. But yeah, I'll be getting in just a minute here. Tip you up. Chest rig isn't the best for me to follow along with. There we go. I think I'm going to throw on the headlamp for a minute. And I don't know what you can see because I can't really see much on the phone. But I'm going to climb over there and get a little bit at the waterfall, I think. And then go for a quick swim. So I'm going to need my hands free to scramble and trekking. Which way am I going? This is the better way. When I come down this, I can just slide down on my butt. But climbing stuff like that can be a bit of a pain with a bad hip. So I gotta choose my route and take my time. And I'm always thankful for the assist of a decent trekking pole. Recently, I just switched from carbon fiber poles to aluminum. They're stronger, and aluminum ones you can actually repair in the field a lot easier. When carbon fiber snaps, it's done. Waterfall. Oh well. But there's a view of the pool I'll be swimming in from above. Pretty neat place. So here to tip you down. Dubsack, what's going on, man? I'm going for another swim. This time I got a little bit of lighting going on. Got a tripod to hold the phone this time, so I don't have to worry about all my crap taking a drink. But yeah. Hold on, it's easier to move my phone here. So behind that tree is a little waterfall, but if I get any closer my Wi-Fi dies. But you can kind of see the water flow. Decent little pool. No fish except crayfish. And this goes about a mile down to the Connecticut River. I know, I really am grateful that I can experience places like this. And it's one of the reasons why I like to share it on my lives, because not everybody has that opportunity. But I need to just go headlamp only, keep my hands free so I can kind of scramble down this slope in front of me on my butt and get back down to the swimming pool. So we'll see how this goes. Better than expected. All right. And we're down. Okay. Let's get a little bit closer to the water and I'll throw some more light on so you guys can see. All right. And this is where we're going to be swimming. And this little cutout the river's made a long time ago. So I'm just going to start walking in the water. It is so nice. Pocket check. Always do a pocket check. All right. Almost time to get wet. Which will be good because my flashlight's getting hot as hell. These night cores, especially higher power ones, man, the bodies just heat up. Ugh. All right. So I think I'm just going to wade in with this chest rig on and hold the phone up high when I need to. And we'll see if I can do this. All right. And there's the boys. All right. That's a cool mountain stream. That's a cool mountain stream. But now that is excellent. All right, a brief moment of acclamation there. But okay, now that's nice. And we're on the tripod. Try not to let my shit float away. Hey, Father Mark, hold on a sec. I'm going to flip the light around here. Oh, let me turn that off. Maybe. There we go. Hey. I'm swimming in a river in the middle of the night because I've had a long week of long days and it's been rather warm, extremely humid, and I needed to beat the heat. I hope you're doing well. I was planning on reaching out to you soon because that thing we were working on for Rob, I'm just going to follow up with people. Unfortunately, with the light in my face, I can't see the phone at all. But appreciate you coming by. Maybe I'll move this light a bit. Put it somewhere else. I'll figure this out in a second. I get another light over here. Let's put that one there. And then is that zoomed in or zoomed out? I can't tell. Right. Well, anyway, I'm going to give you a view of the river here. I got some waterproof lights I put in. And see if I can spot any crayfish. Oh, I see a small fish swimming right there in the center of my spot. something about maybe 2 inches long. Can't quite tell what from here. No crayfish immediately near me, although I wouldn't be surprised if some are in this little hole here. That's actually pretty cool. This round little curve that was cut out by the water. It's almost like a hot tub bowl. But not a bad place to spend an evening, even if it is past 1 in the morning. So, yeah, this is basically what I do on my channel. I haven't really been doing any pre-filmed content for a while, so I've just been doing lives when I get out to places like this, or out camping, fishing. Whenever I'm just bored and feel like talking, I'll fire up the camera and talk to you guys. I can't believe I've got almost like 475 subscribers now. It blows my mind because I'm not really trying to get them. I'm just kind of doing my thing and occasionally posting it. But I've made a lot of good friends through this community. You're included in that, Dubsack. And everybody over at the AOA family. There's a few other channels I go through. Hey, the only way out is through. And so I'm too stubborn to do anything else but keep fighting. But every once in a while, when you're battle worn and weary, you need to recuperate. And a place like this is a pretty cool fucking place to do it. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Tom. I appreciate it. Get some rest. Hope you feel better. You do long days too. So, go over into this hollow here. It actually gets kind of shallow here. But we got that whole rock face. Got my lights down in the water. They've been drifting with the current, which has been kind of cool. I kind of laid them in straight and let the water do what it wanted to do with them. But they are specifically waterproof outdoor lights. They're meant for like 10 by 10 square canopies to go around the edges of them for like when you're camping and shit. But yeah, apparently they're waterproof, so I took them in the river. But the water temperature is perfect. The air temperature right now is about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, and the water temperature is probably somewhere between 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a nice contrast, nice and cool. Didn't know they made them. Who? I'm ADD and I already forgot what we were talking about. I do have to get a drink. My tongue is getting dry. Why won't this turn off? I usually wear a different headlamp, so I forget the controls on this one. Bastard. This is annoying. Yeah, the lights. The fuck, this thing won't turn off. My mic's attached to it, so it's convenient, but... Alright. Damn it. This is getting really annoying now. It won't turn off. It'll do this friggin' beacon. Wait, did I get it? Finally! Ugh, I shouldn't put that back on. So what have you been up to, Dubsack? How's life been treating you? See if I can find places to put the light where it's not in my eyes directly. Alright, that kind of works. Can't really see the surroundings, but... Oh, this is nice. I've had a long, stressful week. Long ass days that have just kept me on my feet running the whole damn time. Oh, yeah. Again, congratulations on the recovery from that. You told me last night, but again, I'm ADD. What is good, chaos? I am swimming in a beautiful mountain river. I'll give you a tour in a second, but I want to dry my hands off enough to light a smoke when I flip the camera. People can do all sorts of wild crap on a stream, but as soon as you light a cigarette, you trip everything up. So, let's flipperoonie that. I really needed this soak. Let's not soak the phone. Alright, bear with me just a second and I'll give you something to look at. I just got to make sure I'm not going to trip and fall. Alright. So, no, I grabbed the wimpy flashlight, damn it. Oh. Can you tell I'm not a professional at this? This whole YouTube business. There we go. So, this is where we're at. Well, especially when you get a bum hip and you're walking through the river unassisted and trying to hold a phone not getting soaked. But yeah, this will definitely do. Hey, sorry about that. The perils of Starlink. But it is perfect temperature. I could not ask for better. For like the first 2 seconds, it was a little chilly when I went in above the waist, but right after that, like, it just felt perfect. There's about a 15 or 20 degree difference between the air and the water temperature. So it's not a shock. I'm comfortable above water even though I'm wet. But yeah, nice place to be. Hold on. Good. I haven't seen any crayfish yet. There are a couple big ones in here, but not many. Well, unfortunately, I don't see any stars. It's been overcast and threatening to rain all evening, and like a couple drops did fall down, but it just made everything feel so much more humid and oppressive. The temperature did drop. Like this time last night, it was still 80 degrees, and it just made the humidity that much worse. But the water was a little bit warmer last night, but still, I couldn't ask for better. It's it's fucking awesome. No, don't fall over in the water, John. But hell yeah, you're welcome to hang out here tonight. It is a beautiful spot. Adventure Nomad, welcome, welcome. I am at a known local. Sorry, I'm running from Starlink, so there will be occasional little lags in the broadcast. I'm just far enough out of the city where I don't have enough cell service to stream. But let me get up on chat there. Chaos. What's going on? Like, it's about 75 degrees out. The water is maybe like 55 to 60. It's enough of a contrast to feel nice, but not be chilled above the water. It's fantastic. In a minute, I am going to put you guys back on the tripod, take the mic off so I can actually dunk under. I've been wanting to do that since I stepped in, but kind of hard to do with the phone and everything. So we can go a bit further upstream in a second. See how far I can get before I lose my balance. I'm just trying not to get my mic wet. But maybe I'll rearrange those lights in a minute. See what the water does with them next. T-shirt. Yes, I did. RLC. They're just little waterproof color changing fairy lights. They're on like camp awnings and stuff, or like the 10 by 10 canopies, but it's perfect. And like, this is a beautiful spot, man. Like, look at this little hollow that's got hauled out. It's not quite as deep as where I'm standing right now. I'm just up to my upper chest. But the water's perfect. Hello. Well, that's a weird one, dude. So I wonder if it's only certain languages when it gets translated it turns that into. Have you noticed a trend, or does it seem to be like pretty much any non-English translation? Let's float over that and not dunk the phone. Working my way upstream a little bit. Trying not to get tangled in my own lights. But like, I love this, man. It is. Like, you have to do what you can to find the little joys in life. And one of the greatest sources of healing, of relaxation, and of restoration has been the outdoors for me. Like, I've been a camper, a hiker, and a backpacker since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, and I've just continued with it throughout my entire life. And, like, I go car camping very regularly, hammock camping, tent camping. I got a hut tent now, so I pretty much do it all. Huh. That's strange, Chaos. But yeah, I still have to make my stream from last night public, but I've got a pretty big crayfish that I caught on film. But yeah, I'm gonna get you guys on the tripod so I can actually get a dunk, because this is just too nice. I'm getting tangled up in the lights again. And again, I apologize. Oh, yes. First off, I apologize for the connection issues, but I camp all year round. I've taken my hammock into negative 10 or 15 degree Fahrenheit during pretty substantial snowstorms. I now have a hut tent where I can have a wood burning stove inside. I've got 4-season tent, a 3-season tent, a bivy bag, a tarp setup. Like, yeah, I've got it all. I've been collecting my gear for years and making very good use of it. So, well, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it. Whoop. Oh, don't get the phone wet. Whoa. All right. Save that. But I did move the lights into that little hollow there. So, let's see. I'm gonna get you on the tripod and take a dunk. So, bear with me. Alright, flipperoo so I can give a proper hello. Name's John. This is my channel BoondockNH. I've been living in my vehicle for the last 4 years, including winters, in the state of New Hampshire. I have a full-time job, and I work 4 days a week. And whenever I get the opportunity, I go up north into the white camping, hammock camping, bivy bag and tarp, open star, you name it, forest roads, wherever I can find a pull-off, fields, beside rivers. Like, it's what I do. It's how I relax after a hard week at work. I've been doing lots of 12-plus hour days for several weeks in a row. Things have been really hectic and stressful at work, and the best way to recover from crap like that is out into nature. It's been hot and muggy well into the evening, so a nighttime swim seemed like a perfect thing to do. I love it, RLC. Like, it does get kind of crowded during the weekends because it is a local swimming spot, but I've never seen anybody here after dark. There's no signs prohibiting it. I'm comfortable with the risk. I know this river. I know the water conditions. Like, it's low flow for this time of year. So I watch the storm reports. There's no lightning strikes anywhere within reasonable distance. Like, I'm good. So I take calculated risks when I'm in the outdoors because I'm almost always alone. So the only option is for pretty much myself to take care of me. Like, it's what you got to do. But I've been doing it so long, it just becomes second nature. Let's see the chat here. Hell yeah, Chaos. We'll take care of you when you come up here. We'll get together with Tom and a few of the other misfits. Make a day or two of it. We'll set aside some bail money in advance, just in case. But I need to get this headlamp and this microphone off. I'll leave the chest rig on for the phone in case we wander a little bit more in a minute, but I need to dunk. Oh, absolutely. And like that's one of the reasons why I didn't really mind working third shift for a while. I'm now back on a modified first shift, so I typically work 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. during the week. And yeah, so that adjustment going from second and third shift to a first shift, which I haven't done in years, has been kind of difficult. But yeah, this is the first chance at overtime I've had since COVID hit, and I'm eating all I can. I have a vehicle I need to replace. My Subaru has been my reliable, trusty sidekick, my transportation, my shelter, my companion for 4 hard years, and it put up with 3 kids for a couple years before that. But I'm pushing like 230 thou. She's starting to rust out. She's not worth putting major repairs back into. So before first snow this year, I'm hoping I got money to put down for a new vehicle. I haven't decided what I want yet. That thing looks awkward. But like, I need a new vehicle before I can start looking for an apartment, because the vehicle guarantees my transportation to work, my freedom to relax in the mountains on the weekends, and most importantly of all, my ability to maintain my visitation with my daughter. So without a car, yeah, I'm skunked. Like, I don't mind my living situation, but the other things are more of a priority. My daughter and keeping my job. So, but hopefully I can get another vehicle soon. But I don't want to think about that right now. I just want to relax and soak. Cheers, everybody, by the way. We'll get these glasses off. And pardon me for a minute. Oh, hell yes. Rinse and repeat. Now that's what I needed, people. That is exactly what I needed. Ugh. Wash all that stress off, that machine oil, the frustrations throughout the day. Forget about the robots I babysit. Forget about the new temps I've been babysitting. Forget about the engineering issues, the maintenance issues, the down machines, the crashes, the insufficient training of the people I need to rely on to do my own functions there. Like, it just goes on and on. But it's engaging, it's physical, it's mental, it's technical. I make products for really cool things. But damn, I'm knackered at the end of my fucking week. Let's see. All right, Chaos. Good on you. This is wonderful. I'll show you guys around a little bit more in a minute, but I'm just kind of enjoying the moment. Oh, float a little bit. Maybe I'll bring these lights in a bit. I don't know what you can see on the screen because my glasses are fogging up. But yeah, I'll leave the lights alone. And I guess I don't need any stinking glasses. Oh, that's all right, Adventure Nomad. I think they might take a wire transfer for bail. We could work something out. But, yeah. This is the only way I can really share places like this with other people. Nobody wants to go hiking or camping with me. My schedule is weird enough that it usually doesn't coincide with anybody else's free time. And yeah, so I camp alone, I fish alone. And so you just gotta focus on safety a little bit more, because I get out into some really remote places, and if I get incapacitated, like pretty much the only option is self-extraction. Like Yeah, I do have the satellite messaging feature on the Samsung phone if I don't have cell service. Now I've also got the benefit of Starlink, but you can't always rely on that stuff. It's technology. It fails. It's brittle. It breaks. It runs out of batteries. Like, so, down on first aid skills, my survival skills. I mean, of course, I practice them regularly. In any given year, probably camp about 30 weeks a year, or 30 weekends a year. Like, no joke. But that's because I've been living in my car full time. So anytime I can get out of that little metal box on wheels, I'm in a hammock. I'm in a tent. Like, I'm staring up at the stars. So, alright. Wet my whistle just a little bit more, and then I'll show you guys around in case anybody's new here and hasn't seen the spot that I'm swimming in. New Hampshire is known for being riddled through and through with some really beautiful streams. And you don't have to be just in the mountains to see them. The central part of the state is known as the Lakes region for very good reason. One of the biggest in the state is Lake Winnipesaukee, and there's a huge network of lakes and rivers that spawn out into the watershed around that. But everywhere is water. New Hampshire has the shortest ocean coastline of any state. We've only got like 18 miles of coast, and it's cold, rocky, pretty unforgiving North Atlantic coastline, except for a couple known touristy beaches, and it's the people that kind of ruin that, because as long as it's semi-decent weather, it's always flooded with people, and that's not my jam. I'd rather be 1:30 in the morning or whatever the hell it is, alone in the dark in the middle of a river, swimming. Like, what better thing could I be doing right now? You're purchasing a Cyber Beast truck and a camper. You've never camped alone. Well, you absolutely have to give it a try. I would recommend pre-planning your trip as much as you can, but don't over-obsess about things. Just like look into the area that you're going to be in, know the terrain, like look at maps, see what's around, and yeah. When you're out there, if you do run into the stores, talk to them because they know the best places to look for. I've found so many cool places just by striking up a random conversation with somebody. Whether it's I'm passing them on the forest roads that have the dispersed campsites I stay at, whether I'm out fishing or what have you, you'll learn an awful lot from the people that are living in that area. But going your first time solo, yeah, don't pack your fears. You don't need to overdo it because that just adds an extra layer of stress. You know, have fun with it. It's not about the process itself. Let's see. I'm blind. Yeah, I'm generally not a fan of electrics. I wish ICE engines were a bit more efficient, but they've been stifling that technology from us for a really long time. Like, there are so many better ways to get more gas efficiency out of the vehicles that we use. But we're being forcefully phased out of them because it's not a question of environmentalism. Because, I mean, if you look at the arguments on support of a lot of the electric vehicles, like once you consider the mining for the rare earth metals, like it's more destructive than everybody claims the environmental impact of gas engines. But that aside, I think it's more about control. Like with an actual gas vehicle that you can work on and maintain, you have true freedom. They're mandating kill switches in all the electric vehicles coming out in the next couple of years. Like, there's a reason for that. Like, yeah, I don't think I could ever allow myself to own an electric vehicle. And I will maintain a decent gas-powered car for as long as I can. I hate touch screens in cars. I almost never use my radio. I'm weird with that. But I don't know. I don't want all the crap that's being forced on us. I don't want subscription services to turn on heated seats. or the air conditioner. Like, it's bad enough that, like, they built in, like, OnStar and all that crap into every car, and then they constantly nag you to resubscribe even though you've never had a subscription because it's a fucking secondhand car. Like, no. That's ridiculous. Once it has all that technology in it, it ceases becoming a vehicle and it becomes a device that you don't actually own. Yeah, chaos. There's also a lot of other good reasons for that. Every Bluetooth device, just like any device that can operate any sort of networking protocol, they have what's called a MAC address. And so it's a unique identifier that will allow you to be tracked by anything with a Bluetooth receiver nearby. And there's a certain type of camera that's been getting cut off a bunch of poles around the country. They also have RF and wireless monitoring systems, so they can also track signals. Like, they get SIGINT from that shit too. So they're capturing the MAC addresses of everything that's got an open Wi-Fi connection or an open Bluetooth connection. And so good on you for removing and disabling that. Oh yeah, well, I'm friends with all sorts. And like, I don't know, like, I'm not trying to make a political thing out of it, choice for electric vehicles, because a lot of people do that. And they frame it in the context of, like, another left-right sort of division. And it's like, no, I mean, I understand if you're in a city environment where you have the infrastructure where you can support it, like, it might make sense for your use case. But that being the situation, you might also be better with a rideshare situation. Who knows? But most of the country doesn't live in the cities. We're so rural, we're so far spread apart. Like, in New Hampshire, it's true that you pretty much can't get anywhere in less than a half an hour. Like, everywhere you actually want to go is like half an hour plus 45 or an hour. And so you get used to those long drives. Like, in an urban setting, a vehicle like that could be fine. But there are plenty of days where I'll do 300 miles in a single day. I don't want to spend the majority of the evening at a charger. Like, then again, there's also the consideration of repairability by the average person. I mean, they've been phasing that out in the design of ICE vehicles recently, and making it harder and harder with all the electronics that they bake in, so that the owner actually can't do the maintenance, and it becomes a right to repair issue. The same way that John Deere locked down their repair services is absolute BS. And I'm glad that there's legal efforts going through to get that stopped. Because if you can't fix it, you can't modify it, you can't get it the way you want it, do you really own it? Like, I don't want a subscription service device for transportation. I want an automobile. But, alright, so I'm done on that rant. I'm going to give myself a dunk. We'll change gears, change conversation topics. Think of something while I'm holding my breath. I'll give you guys another view around and continue the conversation. I got a bit of battery left on my phone. I'm not quite pruny enough to head out yet, so yeah. Oh man, that truly is refreshing as heck. We'll get you spun and show you the spot in a second. Let's see if these do me any good. Alright. Put eyes on chat for a sec. No, and like, the fire issue is a problem. If you've ever driven in the northeast of the United States, you know that we're a bunch of fucking maniacs on the road. There's no other way to describe it. I am a born, raised, and escaped masshole. I grew up driving in North Shore, Boston, commuting into Boston for a number of years for different jobs, and like, you have to not only learn defensive driving, but you also have to learn offensive driving. And, like, fortunately, those skills have helped me because a lot of my technician and engineering jobs have taken me all across the country for a lot of travel. So I've driven in a lot of states, and I've seen how different areas of the country do it. And the skills I learned driving in the Boston area, like, they've saved my life more than a few times. And so, like, yeah, I love driving. I have no problem hopping in the car and doing a 3 or 4 hour drive to get to that perfect campsite, or to get to that trail I know isn't going to be clogged with a bunch of people in the peak season, or to get to that helicopter-stocked trout pond. Like, so if the destination's worth it, I have no problem doing long hauls. And to consider doing that in an electric vehicle, or the potential of getting stranded in somewhere remote in an electric vehicle, or heaven forbid the damn thing malfunction, or I get in an accident and it catches on fire, like, no, no, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. But, alright, I said I was going to stop talking about that, but I'm going to flip the camera, show you guys some of the scenery here. My wet fingers will allow it. I mean, there is something to be said with that kind of convenience there, chaos, having everything so close by. But I prefer my neighbors to be farm fields, like animals. Like, I've always wanted my little cabin in the woods. I don't think I'll ever get it, but I can always hope. Maybe I'll find that winning lottery ticket in the trash because I don't have enough money to throw, so I don't play. But there you go. I had a 1989 Honda Civic DX Hatch 5-speed stick that I absolutely loved until some dumbass white-tailed deer jumped out in front of me and I totaled that son of a gun. Oh, I miss that car. That was just such a hot little hatch. It handled like it was driving on rails. Like, it was beautiful. And it was black on black, interior, exterior. What did I have for a stereo? I think I had like an Atwood or something, but I didn't have any decent speakers. But, well, true, and I have been to Florida for work trips a couple times, but mostly in the Fort Lauderdale area. Fort Lauderdale area. And I remember flying in, and the first billboard that I saw coming out of the fucking airport was like about how to get tested for herpes, and the one right next to it was like inpatient drug clinic sort of thing. Like, that's what they welcome you to Florida with. At least they're keeping it real. But RLC, I agree. You can say that as many times as you want, because that's about the 4th time now. But it's all good. Like, I don't like sharing it during the day, because it does get pretty busy. Only like 15 people or so down here can make it feel pretty crowded. But there is a whole nother set of falls down over that way. Well, hell, let's go for a walk. I'll grab my mic and stuff. Bear with me while I do a thing or two. Get my headlamp back on, get my trekking pole so I don't fall my cripple ass in the river and get my electronics wet. But there is another small river and another pool, or a small waterfall and another pool just down the way that's got a pretty impressive view that's easy for me to get to. Gotta stay hydrated. And let's get the headlamp on. We'll get the rig ready. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. Alright. I think I'm getting this figured out. Josie, hey, how are you doing? You are in for a treat in a minute. You're going to see where I'm swimming. So, check this out. RLC, you're welcome. That's why I do this. Not everybody like this. Welcome back. Hey, Josie, I'm doing good. I have had a couple really long weeks at work, 12 plus hour days every day, lots of stress, lots of problems, but then I find myself in places like this and it just all melts away. It all washes out downstream. Like, this is how I recover. And it's fantastic. Like, things outside of work have been improving in my life. I haven't been camping and fishing as much as I'd like due to my work schedule lately, but I'm still getting out there. Last weekend I was camping in my hammock next to the confluence of two little streams. The only way it could have gotten better is if there were any fish in it. But we're going to take a walk down the river this way, and there's an outcropping of rocks because there's a whole nother set of small waterfalls there, and then another pool. Uh-oh. Hold on a minute, people. I just got a lightning warning on my phone. Oh, wait, no. It's for one of the places I like to camp further up north. I have weather alerts set for different parts of the state depending on where I'm going to be any given weekend. But no, I did check the radar. It's been threatening to rain for most of the evening, and the temperature has been, well, it's finally like 75 or so now, but the humidity has been absolutely crazy. And so it's been threatening to rain, and a couple drops did fall out of the sky, but that just only made it worse. It made it even more soupy. So, yeah, I had to go swimming. Like, I've been putting in so much overtime lately, and I needed a break. We have had a couple good rainstorms, but unfortunately I haven't been camping when they happen. There's nothing I like more. Oh, hey, there's a tiny little fish in here somewhere. Oh, see him? Where'd he go? I'm not wearing my glasses, so I lost him really easy. Oh, there he is. That's the first fish I've seen in this river this season. Tiny little fingerling something. I've seen more crayfish in here than I have actual fish. A couple years ago, they used to stock this river with brook trout further upstream, and in the deeper pools like I'm swimming in now, you'd find a couple that made it down, and if you're lucky and you had the right gear, you could catch a good meal. I have had a couple good rain trout and brook trout dinners this year, but I've definitely not been camping or fishing as much as I have been in the last 3 years prior. But so here's the outcropping we're at. There we go. Then there's the pool I'm swimming in. And we're going to work our way across here and get to the outcropping up that way. Sorry about the inconsistent lighting, but I'm trying to hold a trekking pole in the same hand as the flashlight. Not fall down. Oh, there's our Starlink. That's how I'm coming to you. Yeah. As I get closer to the waterfall, I hope the audio quality is all right, and that you can still hear me. But if I get washed out, well, tell me in chat. So in the northeastern United States, we do have white-tailed deer, we've got moose, we have black bear, but no brown, no grizzly bears. We've got fisher cats, we've got coyotes, we've got coy dogs, and coy dogs are basically a hybrid of a coyote and feral dogs. That right there is a little waterfall that goes into a little hollow down there, And when the water flow is a little bit more, you can actually get under the waterfall itself and behind it. Kind of like in the movies or in cartoons and stuff when the villains have a chamber behind the waterfall. You can do exactly that. But there's like a rock that's almost shaped like a seat that you can sit directly into the water flow. And it's like the most amazing natural shower you've ever had. Because the water pressure is not too much, like it doesn't push you off the seat. But it's fucking awesome. But unfortunately, the water flow is a little too anemic right now this late in the season. Because we haven't been getting a ton of rain. But I also like to sun up on that rock here. And then I'll show you a bit more because that's actually an edge, a ledge. There's a lot more down there. But I need to kind of cross over this stuff. And I have to pick my path carefully because I do have a bad hip. And I gotta take that into consideration. Let's see. Alright. So we're at a decent vantage point here. There's actually another set of falls right over here. I'll show you that little bit first, and then I'll give you the grand reveal. This is kind of a weak little teaser, but the first set of falls goes down here and kind of goes around the corner. I'm glad you can hear the water. It's one of my favorite sounds in nature. It's the most soothing. I love falling asleep to it. There's no better lullaby than hearing a burbling stream or a brook or something like that. But I am standing probably 30 feet above that. But then it opens out into all this. That pool is definitely deep enough to swim in. It gets pretty deep on the other side by where that waterfall is on the outside of, or on the other side of this outcropping here. But yeah, I have been scramble up and down this wall. It is possible to get down there, but my hip, I'm having real problems with it over the last couple of years. I don't think I could actually climb back up this if I went down. Now, this river actually goes down and connects to the Connecticut River about a mile downstream. And the Connecticut forms the majority of the border between New Hampshire and Vermont. So I'm on the western side of New Hampshire. And I have walked the entire mile from the Connecticut all the way upstream a couple times now. And it's fantastic. There's so many other little holes. Like, this is well known as a local swimming spot. So this place always has people in warm weather, in fair weather. To be here completely alone is rather rare. But I'm here at like 2 in the fucking morning, or whatever time it is now. But like further downstream, there are pockets that I guarantee people have never seen. Like some of my early videos on my channel, I actually did film further downstream here in one of those pockets. I've got a bunch of video that I filmed last year that I never edited and posted, including sleeping on the banks of the river further downstream in a bivy bag, like fishing trips. One of my favorite and most productive rainbow trout spots is where this stream meets the Connecticut River. And 2:11 a.m. EST, thank you. So I'm going to work my way down here, try not to fall, and give you a different view. But quite honestly, I want to get back in the water and swim again. Like, I haven't done enough this summer, and the water temperature is so perfect, the air temperature is so mild. Like, I'm having a really great night. But I don't know how much more battery power I've got in this flashlight. It's 1800 lumens, and man, does it get hot when it's not submerged in the water. RLC, thank you. Feel free. I hope you enjoy what I post. I don't put a hell of a lot of effort into my stuff, but I try to have fun with it. Like, I don't try to push or publicize my channel. It's my only social media exposure. I don't use anything else. But I've met so many really cool, genuine people through YouTube. Like, I feel like a bunch of people finally told me and convinced me that I had a story worth telling and sharing. And so I started recording. The hardest thing I do about it is that I really don't like the editing process. And I don't especially like doing it on my phone. I wish that I had a laptop capable of editing 4K. And I am very much a geek. I was building computers in the 1990s. I was a cellular engineer for a while. Now I'm a CNC machinist. Like, I understand the technologies, but I find less and less use for them in my life. And I don't want to have to buy a laptop just to edit video, because it's such an expensive outlay that I don't really need to do in my situation currently. I've got other priorities financially. Because at a minimum, I'd be looking at about $1,200 to get something that can do proper 4K. Like, I've got the cameras. My phone camera is absolutely fantastic on the S25 Ultra, but I've also got a DJI Action 6, and I've been playing with time-lapse videography and a lot of other stuff, and I've come up with some really cool shots I'd still need to post. But I've been working so much, I just haven't had a chance to even do that. But some beautiful sunrises, fog coming over the water, like, yeah. I really want to share it. It's just, fuck, I'm too busy. But here's a swimming hole. It is decent. There's another large swimming hole up here with a small waterfall. Okay, you can just barely see the flow of the waterfall right there. But it's a pain in the butt for me and my crippled hip to kind of crawl over this stuff to get to it. So I'm just going to swim down in here and just keep chilling. But it's a little slice of paradise. And I'm only a half mile outside of a pretty large-sized town. And it's just a hidden gem. RLC, exactly. Like, I'm not trying to build a brand. I don't want partnerships. I'm not trying to stump donations because I live in my car. Like, I don't have a GoFundMe. I don't have a buy me a coffee. I'm not trying to sell merch. I don't do paid promotion shit. My channel's not monetized. I don't ever care if it is. I just kind of want to preserve a little bit of this. Like, originally, I did start it to catalog what I hoped was going to be the end phase of my car-dwelling experience. But obviously, that hasn't happened yet. Like, I'm still full-time employed. I don't make terrible money. But I've got enough financial burdens that, like, getting an apartment right now in this economy... Sorry about that. Again, occasional connection issues. Thank you to Starlink. But, yeah, so... I've been self-reliant. I don't take any public assistance. The only services I use is occasionally I'll go to shelters to take a shower. But that's only when I can't get to a river like this. Like, this is my preferred form of bathing. I also do have an electric shower pump so that I can heat water in camp. It's made by Flextail. So if I'm near a stream, I fill up a 5-gallon bucket and I leave it in the sun to warm up as much as I want. And then if it's still not warm enough, I'll just add a little bit of boiling water to get it to temperature. And a 5-gallon bucket is more than enough to take a long, relaxing shower in camp. So, like, I have means to keep myself clean, but if I can get an actual shower, then I'll stop by one of the shelters. But I'm reluctant to call myself homeless because I don't want to be associated with the majority of the problems that people usually associate with the homeless people. Well, some stereotypes are there for a reason, and I don't like being around a lot of the people that, well, I'm not trying to be judgmental, but I also don't want to be judged by the company I keep. What made me transform? Well, let me switch this around, kill my headlamp. I know, unprofessional, I'm blinding you guys, but... This damn thing. I don't know why I can't figure out how to turn this headlamp off. It always goes to a beacon setting, but let me get my eyeglasses on if I haven't lost them yet. But what made me do this? Well, I do have a house. Technically, my name is still on a deed, mortgage and all that, but the house is under adverse possession. That's what happens when a relationship ends. So basically, the ex got the house and the kids, and I got a whole lot of free time and a fishing pole. I didn't plan on doing this for so long. Like, I had a bit of time to prepare myself before I started living in my vehicle. I intended only to do it for a season so that I could save up money, get a decent apartment. But then just financial calamity after calamity happened, and like constant repairs on my vehicle, like reduced hours at work because of COVID, no opportunities for overtime, like excuses. Like, yes, I'm unhoused, but I don't have a lot of the problems most of the unhoused do. Like, I don't have any addictions. I don't have any medical issues. I don't have any mental health issues. I mean, I'm ADD as fuck. I forget shit all the time. Like, I'm not the best with time management, but like, other than that, like, I don't have it bad. I've got a long-term stable employment. I've been there for like almost 7 years. I have a semi-leadership role due to this seniority and experience I have. So like, life isn't bad. If I wanted an apartment, I could work enough for it, but I would be working poor. I mean, just like I was house poor, but my mortgage payments are less than any apartment right now. Like, the market around this area is nuts. And with the inflation, the shrinkflation, like, your dollar doesn't go as far as it does. My car is paid off. I just have to keep that rattle trap running. But there's a limited time span with that. I definitely need a new car before first snow. If I'm going to spend any god that's out there and you're listening, I want this to be my last winter living in a vehicle. I've already been done with it, but every time I've been ready to actually make the transition into more traditional housing, like, life says, no, this is happening instead. So, whatever. It is what it is. I'm adaptable, if nothing else. I'm stubborn, if nothing else. But, so, it's been a lot easier because of the skills, the equipment I have, the amount of time I've been doing this. Like, if I'm running light on the grocery budget for the week, I can forage. I can go fishing. I can feed myself. I mean, it takes the effort, the time, and the work, and there are some nights you're just going to have to accept that you're hungry. But, like, I'm not starving by any means. Like, my gut will prove that. But, no, being able to recenter in places like this, go for a swim whenever the hell I want, be able to bathe in a mountain stream, catch my own meal, like, I don't know, it's damn cool. I wish I had a log cabin or something like that, but until that happens, like, I'll just take these little joys and rack them up. Old country song. I'm really not that much of a country fan. Like, I do enjoy some of the old classics. Of course, I love the Man in Black. But I don't know. Music is something that I kind of lost my passion for over the last few years. Like, it's a very rare occasion that I'll intentionally listen to music now, regardless of genre. And I don't know, I think I'm going to need to flip the camera because YouTube's not going to like me indulging my nicotine on film. RLC, you're welcome for me sharing my experience. Like, the only people I socialize are at work. And I'm there so much. No, I need a break from those people. But I want to find people that love enjoying and experiencing the same things I do. Whether it's camping, hiking, fishing, backpacking, stealth camping. Like, I love EDC gear. I love bushcrafting skills. Like, DIY stuff. I'm a CNCer. I'm into technology, 3D printing, 3D scanning. Like, vacuum forming, additive and subtractive manufacturing, mill, 3-5-axis, ABs, like, whatever. Like, I'm a geek. I love old school video games. I love traveling. And so it sucks doing it all alone. So why not meet some cool people like you guys that share this? She got the gold mine, I got the shaft. I'd say I'll remember that and look it up later, but I'm an ADD squirrel. Like, I have a hard time holding on to stuff like that unless I take a screenshot, but I don't want to handle my phone so much with my wet hands. But I'm going to try and keep this part off screen. See how that goes. Oh no! I got my Bic wet. And it's still got the safety on, and I don't have my towel within reach. Oh, triple cursed. Minus some things, of course. Absolutely, Dubsack. Like, but I don't have it bad. Like, and I don't want to say that I'm homeless because I feel like I'm almost glamping. It like almost like LARPing. But I've been doing it for so long that it's so boring and rote and regular for me that I don't think that other people would consider this interesting. Because it's just what I do, partially because I have to do it. So like, I forget that this isn't normal for a lot of people. Like, they don't have access to shit like this. Like, I wish I could share this with my daughter, and that's one of the reasons why I created this channel, is so that the times that I don't get to spend with her, like, she kind of gets to a sense of where I am, what I'm up to, and stuff like that. I mean, later on, because she's a kid, she doesn't know about my channel, but, like, she'll look back at this time in her life and kind of understand what I've been up to and going through and doing. And that was the other main focus of the channel, is to not only document what I was hoping to be the end of my car dwelling experience, but also show what I'm doing when I wasn't able to be with my daughter. But that situation's improved. I've made some really good progress in the family courts. I had really low hopes when I initiated everything. Yeah, so I'm finally getting more time with my daughter, and it's been amazing. Absolutely amazing. Oh, we've got some batteries dying on the lighting here. And I can't tell you how much I want a cigarette, and my fucking lighter is wet. Oh, we might have to walk to my backpack so I can get my backup lighter. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Always have a spare. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Because if that first lamp died, this one doesn't have much left, so I better keep both my headlamp and my flashlight handy. I don't know how long these string lights are going to last, and I got about 30% on my phone and more than enough battery on my Starlink to maintain the connection while the phone's alive. So I'm pretty much going to run my battery out with you guys tonight. Indoor plumbing, like, Chaos, you actually would be surprised how few times I actually have to make like a bear in the woods. Like, of course, when I'm actually camping in the middle of F-all nowhere, yeah, I'm digging cat holes, and that's one of the first things when I do to camp, when I get at camp, is to set that up. But, yeah, you get to know all the decent local. I'm going to leave the phone there so I can get my other lighter, so you're just going to kind of look at the lights in the darkness while I talk. But, yeah, I use public bathrooms, and I've gotten to learn which ones are the clean ones, the good ones, the places that don't mind my presence. Like, I've been geo-locked into the area that I'm at because I've been at my current job for over 6 years now. And so during the work week, I stay in a relatively small area, but as a vehicle dweller, you don't want to get caught in patterns. You don't want to overstay your welcome. Like, in the beginning, I tried to be very strictly, like, never in the same place 2 nights in a row, never in the same place 2 nights in a row. They were effective, and after about 2 months of use, I was able to go 100% nicotine free, and I was 100% nicotine free for about 10 months, and then life went sideways, and I picked up a pack again, and I've been hating myself every day for it, because it was so hard to quit, but I absolutely don't want to get back into vaping at all. Alright, I'm getting back towards the camera. Sorry you guys have been looking at not much, and I haven't put eyes on the chat, but yeah, I definitely needed that. Well, you enjoy your cigar. You enjoy your cigar. That's something I never really got into. I just can't stand the wraps. I could never do blunts. I could never rollies. Like, if I do venture into Vermont where certain things over there are legal that aren't legal in New Hampshire, like, I can't do the paper. Oh, so it was service related. You're one of the few they admitted to? But thank you very much. I do appreciate your service. Chicago. I have not been to Chicago, and I would like to at some point. Well, I hope you're able to get out and experience something like this. I mean, even if it's local and close to home, it doesn't have to be a grand adventure across the country to find a little honey hole like this. And there are accessible places that you can get to. I'm not sure what your needs are exactly, but there are state and national parks that are accommodating, and at least it's something to get a change of scenery. Absolutely chaos. I agree with that 100%. Let's turn that over. I'm here. These days it's so difficult to know what YouTube is going to flip out over and cancel a stream for, but I heard they have a very hardline issue about smoking cigarettes on screen. Yet they have no problem with people doing tobacco vapes. They have no problem with people in legal states using THC vapes, wax pens, dab rigs, and all that crap. Like, I've seen people with other hard paraphernalia on screen. They're not actively showing it in use, but like, YouTube lets all that crap slide, but then they'll cancel your stream because you got a cigarette. Like, I got a 1-week ban for a BB gun. Like, I don't know what the hell they put up with. I've seen other channels that have been railroaded, and I don't know. But once I finish this, we'll take one last look around. I would like to get some sleep before the sun comes up, because it's been getting warm pretty damn early, and when you're in a car, it like automatically raises the temperature. If direct sunlight hits it, you've got an extra 20 degrees above ambient. So by like 9 in the morning, my car is almost 100 degrees inside when I got my blackouts up. I don't know if my chat froze. Oh, there we go. That's fantastic. I just re-registered my car, but when I get my new car, I do want to get a combination New Hampshire conservation tag. We call them a moose plate. And also with a national parks endorsement on it as well. So that'll give me access to the parks. Because currently I have to renew my parking passes for the national and state parks annually in New Hampshire. You can just go to the local district forest rangers, or some of the local outfitters are signed up to the program where they can sell the passes, and you just stick it on your vehicle and it's good for a year. But the great thing is the funds actually go to directly manage the resources in the state. Of course, we're probably all aware that all of the National Park Service has had some restructuring, some funding issues and stuff like that. They're relocating their headquarters out west, which I think is a good move, actually, because you want the BLM headquarters to be closer to than they actually manage, instead of a giant office building in DC or New York City. So like that I get, but the National Park Service has been strained, and then you've got parks on the state level that, like, they got a boom post-COVID once all the stupid restrictions were opened up. Like, so many people discovered the outdoors as a result of COVID. Like, there's a lot more people out here now than I have been used to seeing. Especially with social media, like private gems like this. That's why I'm not saying the name, because it would blow up. Like, this is a fucking beautiful spot. It's not a secret for the town that I live in. The locals know about it. And it already gets pretty busy during the weekend days in the summer. But, like, I'm happy to share the places I go for the view, but I'm not always going to tip my hand where I'm at. Alright, I'm almost finished driving this nail in the coffin. And then I'll flip the light on and give you a bit of a view. We'll swim around. Hopefully I won't wet my phone or my mic, but I definitely need another dunk, get my head under the water. And yes, I always police my trash, including my butts. I absolutely believe in the leave no trace mantra. I always try to leave campsites better than I find them. I regularly rebuild fire rings. I'll magnet steel and nails out of them. Clean up trash. Like, every time I go hiking, I pretty much fill a small grocery bag with other people's trash. And it's really sad. I enjoy how much weight of crap I end up bringing out of a place, just because it's no longer there, and the next person behind me is going to have a better experience, because they're not going to see, like, food wrappers and crap like that all over. But in just a moment we'll actually get some swimming in. There's a flashlight. Hello. Pull this around. Flip the camera. And this is the river I'm swimming in tonight. Got some waterproof lights to spice it up. I was here last night and I did a live. I just make the recording public. I haven't gotten around to it yet because I've been working like a bastard at work. I'm doing some long days, but it's fantastic. It's about 75 degrees out. The water temperature is somewhere between 55 and 60. Like, I'll basically start swimming as soon as the ice melts and the current's not enough to be a danger. I've done plenty of polar bear swims. Like, I don't enjoy it as much when it's that cold, and I certainly don't spend this much time in the water when it's that cold, because, yeah, especially with the mountain runoff, The water is damn cold in some of these rivers, especially in the early season. But I know the signs of hypothermia. I know I've got a limited time depending on the temperature, so I play it accordingly. But yeah, places like this should be experienced. Do it with respect, leave no trace, take only photos, yada yada. Follow your mantra of choice as long as it gets you out there in a place like this. There's a nice little cove in here that's hollowed out. It is my therapy, without a doubt. Let's see if I can get over this rock without dunking the phone. There we go. Now I'm back in the hollow. See if I can find a place to sit. So that's where my tripod was, that light there. But I kind of pulled the string lights around me in the hollow here. Yesterday I had my tactical Crocs on, but today I've actually got my river shoes for a little bit better traction. Whoa, whoa, floating away, floating away. Alright, there we go. I'm stirring up a bunch of dust, I guess. There's a few water striders on the surface swimming around me. Neat little bugs. Seen a couple small fish. Last night I saw a pretty decent crayfish. I did get it on film, so once I get that posted, you can check it out. But pretty much last night I did the same thing I'm doing now. Floating around, swimming, shooting the breeze, talking with people. I gotta get it into a little bit deeper water or I'm gonna capsize. Alright. Let's go upstream a little bit, shall we? Maybe. At some point it gets a little too shallow for me, and then I gotta crawl over rocks, and I can't really do that with the phone in my hand. And I'm going against the flow. Whoop. Alright. Maybe we're not doing that. And my flashlight's running out of battery. Honestly, I thought my phone was going to die before the flashlights. I do have one on the rocks, I think, with slightly lower lumens, but a charged battery, so we might switch to that. But I'm ADD and lose crap all the time, so I probably misplaced that thing. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to switch to that other flashlight if I can find it. Not that. Oh, I'm going to have to get you guys back on the tripod. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Try and do a pocket check. Okay. Hooray for not losing my backup flashlight. Is that pointing at me or where's it pointing? There we go. Sorry. Clip that other flashlight to me so I don't lose it. And then turn this thing off, hopefully, because it looks goofy as hell. Alright. It is, and they were $20 at Walmart. It bugged me. Before I came here, I've got USB-C rechargeable AAA batteries, a bunch of them, and I couldn't find a single one of them. So I ended up having to buy alkalines for it, which I hate doing because I've finally standardized almost everything to USB-C rechargeable, including AAA, AA, and D cell batteries for some of the various electronics I use. But I couldn't find any of my AA's that I needed for this light string. But yeah, $20. I forget the brand name. As it fades, there's a button on it. You can push it so you can actually lock in a specific color that you like. But I've just been letting it cycle through. All right, well, I guess I should stop talking, Chaos. I'll let you enjoy it. I know you didn't mean it that way. I'm just kind of kidding. But no, it's one of my favorites. The only things that I like more, or I shouldn't say more, I should say on the same level of like a mountain river sound, is the wind through tall trees, and the trees have to like creak and sway a little bit to add to it. And then the sound of a thunderstorm, a powerful thunderstorm, echoing through the mountains and the valleys. And you can kind of trace as the sound waves from each thunderclap bounce off one mountain face and range and change direction and then echo around you. Like, it's a humbling experience, because a lot of people, because of the modern conveniences in our life, we forget how raw and powerful the forces that shape our planet are around us. Like, water is the most transformative force, and it carves some of the most beautiful scenery. I can actually see my first star of the night. Oh, damn it, Elon. I guarantee that's a satellite. Yeah, it's a satellite. It's bright, it's moving. Thanks, buddy. Anyway. It looks like finally the clouds are passing, which means we're not actually going to get any rain tonight. So it's still going to be humid as hell when I wake up in the morning. But at least I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Thank the gods for that. Like 12, 13, 14-hour days for multiple weeks in a row. I've only gotten to go camping for one overnight, but it was in a hammock in a beautiful spot. So like, I'll take what I can get. But I've been wanting to get out there more. This season, it's just been really tough. My car had been in the shop, so I had to get a rental car for about a month. That screwed me financially. It was a situation that wouldn't have been covered by insurance even if I had it. So, like, it had to be out of pocket. And I got a job and I could pay for it, so it is what it is. And so, but it cost me, and I'm finally clawing my way back financially from that so that I can save for a down payment for a new vehicle. Because she's been great to me. She's been my companion, my shelter, and my transportation, but damn, I need a new set of wheels. Oh, really? Hey, Boone, welcome aboard. Sorry I'm asleep at the wheel. I'm in a flippin' beautiful place. Let me get some light. My powerful light, the battery's just about dead, the 1800 lumen, but I am swimming in a beautiful stream. I've been pruning up and soaking for a couple hours now, like an hour and a half at least. I think I started my stream at 1 o'clock a.m. Eastern. But there's a little waterfall further up here. There's a nice little alcove in here. I got my waterproof string lights in here. The temperature of the water right now is probably somewhere between 55 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. The air temperature is about 75 Fahrenheit. There's another set of waterfalls down there. This is a fairly low flow, low water level condition for this area. The waterfalls are much more impressive, especially in the spring season. This place is an absolute raging torrent. All of this is completely underwater. But yeah, I love it. And it's been, I haven't talked for a while. I haven't been doing much on my channel, and I haven't really been participating in other channels as much as I'd like. My work schedule has been incredibly demanding, and any leftover time I've been spending with my daughter when I can, because that whole situation has finally improved, which has been one of the most important changes in my life, in my well-being, in a while. And I'm really happy and really proud of that, because she is an amazing kid. But when I can't be with her, I do stuff like this, and I hang out with misfits like you. But thank you very much, Boone. Um, I've been meaning to do a lot of things, including toss you an email and a bunch of other people. But I'm glad you stopped by, man. I'm glad I get a chance to share this with you. Um, if you want to stick around for a couple minutes, I'll grab my trekking pole and I'll work downstream, because there's a really beautiful outcropping that shows like a next level further down there. And I probably got just enough battery power on my lights and my phone to give you the nickel tour, as it were, before I consider wrapping up. I think my Starlink has more power than any of my lights, but like, this is amazing. Well, I appreciate it, man. You are always welcome around my campfire or in my swim hole. I'll share my fishing spots with you, man. That's how much I love you. But yeah, I'm glad you got a chance to see this place. I did a live from here last night as well, but I got to make that public. I just haven't really been putting any time into the administration of my page, let alone editing. I've almost got 2 terabytes worth of video over the last year I haven't gone through to edit and post anything from. Like, it's really kind of sad at this point. My phone has 512 gig of storage. It's almost completely full of video that I haven't edited. I've got drone footage. I've got action camera footage. And I'm doing like 65, 70-hour weeks at work. Like, it's been a little ridiculous. But yeah, we'll take a tour in there in just a second. With my bum hip, I absolutely have to use a trekking pole when I navigate any waterways. I'm going to put the phone in my chest rig, so I'll be navigating with my headlamp, so I got my hand free instead of holding the torch up. So the next like 2 or 3 minutes of video are probably going to be pretty dark until I get over there. Where the fuck is my trekking pole? Don't tell me that thing floated away. Oh no! Are you serious? I genuinely don't see my trekking pole. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I had it right up on the rocks here with my tripod. I think my trekking pole went for a swim. Son of a bitch. I guarantee when I get out to that outcropping, I'm probably going to see that it went over the waterfall and it's sitting down in the pool below. But you know what's funny? I actually left like a mini tripod for my phone here on the rocks last night, and it was still here when I came back today, so I threw that in my backpack now. So I got my mini tripod back, but I just lost my fucking trekking pole. Damn! No, that trekking pole went swimming. Alright, what light did I just lose? Man, that was a black diamond. I mean, yeah, I got it on a crazy good sale, but I switched from carbon fiber to aluminum poles because when carbon fiber poles fail, there's no hope of repairing them and using them. But with aluminum, sometimes you can bend them back to shape, or you can splint them, and they'll survive at least the rest of the trip until you get a chance to properly replace them. But, like, I had plans for that pole, man. I was going to do a series where I put a survival kit on my trekking poles, with things like line, fishing line, hooks, weights, purification tabs, all that stuff. But, fuck. All right, well, we're going to go downstream, and maybe it got caught up on some rocks. Like, I don't think my luck is that good, but son of a bitch. But I'm definitely going to be going slower and more cautious because I need that stability. I only brought the one of the pair down to the river. But last year, I lost one of my carbon fiber trekking poles. So now, I've got a mismatched set of one aluminum and one carbon fiber. All right, sorry, there's the lighting a little bit better. Amateur hour here, I know. But I'm going to try and walk the shore and see. There are shallow spots up here where it may have got hung up. No. You know what? I'm stupid. It's right there by my pack, my towel, and my Starlink. Okay, we're good. Oh no, a trekking pole won't sink. They're a hollow aluminum tube. And they've got an EVA foam handle which would have floated on its own anyway. So that wouldn't have sunk. But that makes me happy because I don't feel like falling and breaking my hip in the middle of a river. Alright, so I have more things in my hands than I have hands to hold them. So I got to do a little switcheroo, get you guys in the chest rig, get my hands free for the trekking pole. Again, the lighting in the view may not be the best for the moment until I get where I need to be. But we'll take a chance, see what's going on. Oh look, some people here made little camps. So I got to pick my path pretty carefully. Because as slight as it is, my limited mobility definitely is taking its toll. All right, this is about as far as I'm going to come over here this way. But let me get some proper light going. You call that a flashlight? No. Oh, damn it. That's a flashlight. Yeah, my batteries are dying, so it's not going up maximum, but that's a pretty cool rock face that's been eaten away by years of massive high flow water. Like, when this place is really flowing, this whole rock outcropping is completely just submerged. There's just a wall of water that washes across this whole area. But this isn't where we're going. We're actually going to go over here so that we can view over to the next outcropping. But now both my flashlights are telling me they're running low on battery. So I'm going to turn those off and just use my headlamp for the moment and navigate across this slippery bedrock. All right, we got some dry stone under my feet. I can't see the phone at all, so I apologize. It is. I have done a bivy bag camp a little bit further downriver. Again, video that I never got around to editing. Something I probably plan on reshooting. So this river that goes downstream from these falls continues about a mile before it reaches a major river called the Connecticut River, which forms the majority of the border between the states of New Hampshire and Vermont. So I live and stay mostly in the western side of New Hampshire, and the Connecticut River starts right up near the Canadian border is where the headwaters are, and it goes all the way down through New Hampshire and Vermont, down into Massachusetts, and eventually goes into Connecticut before it reaches the Atlantic. So it's a huge watershed in New England, and it's biologically diverse. It has lots of mountain streams and places like this feeding into it. And yeah, this is one of my little favorite gems. I'm sorry my light isn't any brighter, but it's running out of battery and I can't get that full 1800 lumens out of it. But there is a good deep swimming pool over there. I'll give you a view by getting up on those rocks. Da-da-da-da. Try not to fall down this face here. Yeah. My lights are starting to flicker. As long as my headlamp doesn't give out on me, I'm good. Because I don't want to navigate down shit like this, because that is as steep as it looks right now. But there's a good pool of water down there. This rock here, I've sunbathed and stuff off it. In previous years, I fished off the top of it. But the waterfalls really start here. And down behind this rock, you can get inside the waterfall and behind the flow of it, kind of like in the movies or the cartoons, but it's just big enough to kind of sit. And there's a rock that's almost like a lazy boy, and it's amazing. I can't put it into words. It's just one of those little treasures that you find. Boone, I'm not going to say the name of the stream that I am on just because it's already a popular local spot, but I don't want to blow it up. But it is in western New Hampshire. It is close to the Connecticut River, and that's about as far as I'll disclose. But the only way it could be better is if it were teeming with fish. There's tiny little baby fish in here that I've seen. But in years past, they used to stock further upstream with brook trout, which is one of my favorites to catch and cook. My second favorite being rainbow trout. I don't really target anything else specifically for eating, and I don't do catch and release recreationally. So anytime I catch another species, it's bycatch when I'm trying to get trout. And in the last couple seasons, I've been really fortunate. I've landed some amazing fish, released a lot of amazing fish, and had some very good meals. We'll get up on the rocks and see if we can put eyes on the whole scene where I was swimming a little bit better. I don't think I'm going to go back in. I'm probably going to wrap soon because my flashlights are going to give out on me, and I'll need the headlamp to pack things up. But it's been fun sharing this with you guys. I have been waiting all day to get out of my shop, get away from the stress, forget all the problems, and just reset. And Mother Nature provides. Alright, so let me see if I can juggle all the crap in my hands, take the phone off the rig, and give you a decent view. So, there we go. So that's upstream. This channel is only about 2 to 3 feet deep. It widens out and it starts dropping to about 4 feet deep and 4.5 to 5 in the deep part right there. Eric, hey, how are you doing? Sorry if I hadn't seen any previous comments you've made. I've been kind of wandering around and not keeping my eyes on chat. Okay, yeah, you already did say hey. Sorry I missed that. But the Starlink's been doing all right, man. I have the Mini, version 2, I think, and I've got the Roam package for $50 a month. It's 100 gig. I haven't been doing as many live streams as I thought I was going to be doing because I've been incredibly buried at work and just not getting to the mountains as much as I'd like. But it absolutely still comes in useful. Like, I'm not very far from a populated center, but because I'm basically down in a gully that's been carved out by this river, I just got absolutely terrible cellular service. So the Starlink is coming in really handy. And I do get the occasional connection glitch. I've just got it set flat and pointing at the sky without some trees in front of it. Normally it does better when I put it on my tripod that I have and can aim it It's been working well when I put it in the sunroof of my car because connection is very spotty in the White Mountain National Forest. And so it has really proved its usefulness. And at $50, I really can justify it. Not only is it for like my mental health and well-being by being able to do live streams and talk to somebody, because like I'm always in these places alone. Like I'm fine with that, but I don't want to be one of those crazy guys talking to myself in the woods. Like I want to be one of those crazy guys talking to you while I'm in the woods. So the Starlink enables that. I've tried vehicle cellular signal boosters, and they help in certain situations, but your phone has to have signal in the first place. If you don't have that one bar, the booster isn't going to help you. So it really only had limited utility. Thankfully, most of the modern handsets now have emergency satellite messaging built into them. I run a Samsung S25 Ultra, so if I didn't have the Starlink, at least I would be able to get a hold of emergency services, because I do find myself in some pretty remote places. I don't use ham or CB radio or even in like an FRS handset most of the time, but I've always got my cell phone. And now I've always got the Starlink, so that gives me another option for communication. But yeah, I've been swimming and pruning up in this for a couple hours now, and I don't think I'm going to go back in, so I'm going to wrap up shortly. But yeah, people like to give him a lot of hate, and I kind of understand where a bit of it comes from. But I absolutely believe a lot of it is undeserved. Like, let's see what he can accomplish. Because if you look at what he's already accomplished, that man is not done yet. Let him fucking cook. Like, I'm down for the whole Mars colony. I'm down for the reusable rocket ships. Like, personally, my opinion on electric vehicles is a little jaded. But the way that he organized the company, the risks he was willing to take to try something different, like, we got to admit, the Cybertruck is an ugly piece of, their quality in manufacturing hasn't been what it should be. They've had a couple really good vehicles, but they're not done growing. So I'm not ready to write them off, but what he's been doing, like, I'm trying to keep the political stuff separated away from it, because primarily I look at Elon because I've been a lifelong geek. Like, I've been into technology, building computers, networking, and all of that other stuff since the early 90s, really. And so I've always stayed on the close to bleeding edge of tech development. If not firsthand, I keep up on the research. And the man is really putting his resources towards a lot of fucking cool stuff. And so I don't want him to stop. I really don't. I'm not a fanboy. Like, if I see him in person, I'm not going to get on some knee pads for him. Like, that isn't happening. But he is a very interesting person. He has a very interesting perspective on the world. And if you're going to be a filthy friggin' rich mega billion trizillionaire, whatever that, like, you can build your Dr. Evil lair fortress, or you can, you know, build a frickin' rocket, man. That's an interesting idea. I never really considered the idea of Elon as a politician. Like, I know he involves himself in politics. I mean, we can't discount Doge and stuff like that. But, like, even then, he presented himself as a functionary with a task to perform, with a limited lifespan. And he said, once we hit this milestone, we're going to self-delete. Not in the bad way, but like the whole Doge program. And they uncovered a lot of waste, a lot of fraud, a lot of inefficiencies, and that was the goal. They rubbed a lot of people in the machine the wrong way, but again, it's difficult keeping the political separate from the man, separate from the companies when you're having a discussion about that guy. But I'm almost halfway air dried now. I've been out of the water so long, but my fingers are definitely pruned up. But somewhere down there is the battery pack for it. These lights run for probably 16 hours on a set of alkalines. Normally I run USB-C rechargeable batteries, but these string lights are pretty cool. You can set them up on pathways at your camp. You can string them on the ridge line for your tarps. You can put them around the corners of your tents or the guy lines of your tents, so that in the nighttime they're not a trip hazard. But being waterproof, the first thing I thought of when I saw them on the shelf was, I'm going to throw the damn things in a river and go swimming. So that's what I did. Boone, thank you. I appreciate your time here. I'm glad I could share it with you. My brother from across the pond. Yep. And I hope you have a great day, man. I'll try and check in on your channel more often. It's been tough with my schedule. I haven't been giving a lot of people the love or time or attention that I've been wanting to, but it's been good reconnecting with you, buddy. And anybody in here that's not familiar with Old Dirty Booner, he is a stealth camper, part of the Stealth Camping Alliance, and he has done some crazy videos. Please go check him out. If you like the outdoors, if you like a little bit of slapstick, good-natured comedy, camping, cooking, having a decent beer in an unfamiliar place, seeing amazing scenery, old battlefields, national monuments all over Europe, Old Dirty Booner has an amazing channel, and it's absolutely worth a check out. Yes, I have been to this spot in the wintertime. I've been, well, because geographically, I've been in this area for quite a while now. I work not far from here, like within 20 minutes of here. So, like, I've had the chance to see it at flood stages, at low stages, iced over. Like, the ice formations are nuts. Again, a video that I've never gone through and edited, but yeah, it's amazing. Hey, Boone, anytime, man. Like, you've been an inspiration. You were guidance when I did my very first stealth camping video. I appreciate your input. I do plan to do more in the future, but life gets in the way of life. I'll get around to it when I get around to it, just like everything else. But in the meantime, yeah, man, have a good one. And as always, thanks. And again, anybody else here, go check out Old Dirty Booner's channel, because it is absolutely a riot. He finds himself in some awesome places, some awkward circumstances, and gets to share it with us all. But yeah, man, I'm just about ready to wrap up here myself. Kind of want to get a snack after I dry off, and then get some sleep before the sun comes up. But it's been fun. Like, it's been restorative. I got the relaxation I needed. I got to, wash off the frustrations of the day. I got to have good conversations with good people, share some beautiful scenery. I have done videos from this location during the daylight in some of the older long-form stuff I posted on this channel. So if you poke around, you might recognize some of this in the daylight. Yeah, to my new friends, my new subscribers, I appreciate it. I hope that I earn your subscription. I'm not a regular poster. I don't plan or schedule my stuff. Everything's just kind of off the cuff as it happens or when I have time to put it out there. I am hoping at some point in the future to get an opportunity to work through some of the backlog of video that I have, because there's so much shit that, like, I can't wait to share, but I just don't have the time to do it. So I hope you guys will be there for that. But I think with this, going to a Norwegian championship in racing tomorrow. I can't wait. Uh, Championship racing of what? Are we talking people, animals, vehicles, motorized, human powered? All right, the bugs have certainly found me because I'm using my white lights. So let's maybe switch to red light for a minute. Cars, all right. So like what class or series of vehicles would that be equivalent to? Like I'm not really big into it in the States, but we've got NASCAR, we've got F1, we've got rally car, and I'm probably sure a bunch of other stuff in between. I'm assuming you probably mean something similar to like F1 racing. I'm going to put you in the chest rig here so I can kind of navigate back over to my stuff. I was a fool and climbed up these rocks without grabbing the trekking pole I thought I lost. I am glad that thing didn't go downriver though. I mean, they weren't the most expensive trekking poles, but I did buy them. Don't get old, people. I'm not even that old, but at 45, I already should be in line for a hip replacement on my right hip. I started having problems with it at about 37, and it has been getting progressively worse. And when I got it x-rayed at 37, they said, well, you got about 10 years before you're going to need to get that replaced. And I'm like, all right, fuck you, I'm going hiking. See ya. But now it's going to be an unavoidable thing I'm going to have to deal with in the not very far future. It certainly complicates my hiking, especially on the descents. So I just got to really plan my footing, always bring my trekking poles, and just go at my own pace, not push it. Well, RLC, I appreciate your company. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate the sub. I hope I continue to earn it. Feel free to check out the limited backlog I do have posted. I do fishing, I do camping, I do cooking. I've done like... one of my favorite videos right now. If you want to check something out and do me a favor, I've got both a long form and a short that are titled something like a hyperlapse drive on a mountain road in New Hampshire. Like, I really had fun doing that video, and I'm really surprised that it has stalled the way it has. So if you want to give it a view, if you want to leave a comment on that one in particular, I'd appreciate it. The hyperlapse drive, the long form version, if possible. Like, I had fun with that drive, and I think you'll enjoy the scenery on that. But beyond that, yeah, man, have a great night. I am going to wrap this up. I'll give one more view of the pool before I pull the lights. But, yeah, I'm glad I could share this space with you guys. It has definitely been fun. Definitely a needed diversion from a long week. Show a little bit of the scenery. And believe it or not, there is a car bridge somewhere up there just out of view. But I haven't seen a single vehicle cross it the whole time I've been here tonight. Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not trying to ride the algorithm and get my channel pumped out. Like, I don't promote it. I don't use any other social media, so I'm not cross-posting to bring traffic from a Facebook page or TikTok or any other platform. Like, I don't accept donations. I'm not seeking, like, stuff like that. Yes, I'm technically homeless. Yes, I live in my car, whatever. I've got a job. I can take care of myself. I'm here for the lulz. I'm here for the fun. I'm here for the connection. and to share experiences like this. So if it doesn't take off, then that also kind of means it's a bonus, because for the people that do like it, it resonates that much more. And so if I do make connections because of the content I post, it's because we've got a genuine thread to pull in common. So I'll take that. It's more than enough for me to work with. I mean, I'm a simple guy when it comes down to it. I like my natural spaces. I like honest conversation, and I like real people doing real things. I respect skill for skill. Like, I try to see the heart and the beauty in everybody and every place I go, and I take one day at a time. Yeah, like, I played around with X a little bit, but like, social media never really struck with me. I was always into computers and IT networking. I was a cellular network engineer for a decade. But basically, when social media hit handsets, I had a really hard time participating in that part of the economy. Like, I was the guy that made more bars and more places happen. I lit 4G up all along the eastern seaboard, from Bangor, Maine, basically down to Philadelphia. This is before fiber optics served everything, so there was no 5G because they didn't have the backhaul. But without getting too technical into it, like, I've been a big time geek most of my life. And I forgot why I started bringing that up. So, yeah, that's the ADD. ADD. But yeah, the social media. Like, I saw the impact that it started having on society. People spending more time with 6 inches of glass superglued to their nose, ignoring the world around themselves in the name of connectedness. Like, no, I can't get down with that. And then you add the, like, main character syndrome that most people have. I can't stand the idea that my kids genuinely want to be influencers or live streamers when they grow up. Like, I'm having a hard time reconciling the fact that that's an actual valid career choice now. Like, and I know it's a societal shift. I'm not, like, becoming the old get off my lawn man sort of thing. Like, I don't think it's, like, that kind of a generational pushback. But, like, no. No. There's more of a world than staying glued to a screen. And the narcissism that it caused, like, I lost my love for the technology. I remember when GPS first became a feature on cell phones. I'm like, this is a great utilitarian thing. It's going to help people navigate. Emergency 911 will allow triangulation, so, like, first responders can accurately get to scenes. Like, it had uses. But now it's just become tracking for targeting advertising, so that they know what store you're closest to, so they can try to coerce more money out of you. All of your data is collected, all of your data is sold. You are the consumed and not the consumer. And once I came to that realization, I had to leave cellular. And eventually I left IT as a whole, communications. Like, all told, I've got about 17 years in communications altogether, between traditional networking and cellular. And I couldn't do it anymore. But I love technology and I love hands-on, because I was always a field engineer. That's why I decided to get into being a machinist and a CNC operator, is because it's still a mix of hands-on and tech. But it's a lower tech. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm becoming a Luddite. It is what it is, but I yearn for more and more raw natural spaces and more time in them than I do staying up with the most current technology and the latest developments. Like, I'm a science geek and a buff on it, and, like, I love the technology. Like, I'm a nerd's nerd. But it doesn't hit like it used to. But I could keep rambling. I'm losing my light. Well, you can start wanting to be a politician for noble reasons. I just don't always think it survives when the rubber hits the road, and corruption is eventually inevitable, or at least sidestepping from your original path. But I don't really like talking politics, not because I'm afraid to. It's just, it's easy to get frustrated with it, either yourself or the person you're talking with. Not that I'm saying we're at cross odds or anything right now, but I don't know. It's a challenging topic for me to deal with, and I think I'm way behind on the stream. All right. Interesting. Like, my channel is so small that I don't have to worry about that. 90% of the people that come into the live streams are already channel members, and they're people that I've interacted with in other communities. There's a few really wholesome pockets that I've found on the internet that I've gained a lot of my subs from. Anything from coin collecting channels to stealth campers, to traditional backpacking, bushcrafting, outdoor channels, to gardening channels, to music channels, and a bunch of random stuff in between. And like, meeting wholesome people that share the same interests as you is, it's reaffirming. Like, I'm always on my own, and I've gotten so used to this that it takes other people that love this shit to say, hey, you're actually in a special spot right now. Like, to me, this is kind of regular. But to you, it might be the most beautiful thing you see in a while. And I have to kind of maintain that perspective. Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, like, I'm still sub 500. Like, I don't worry about my metrics at all. I post extremely irregularly, so there's no massaging the algorithm that way by, like, doing regular posts at a certain time on a certain day, doing a certain amount of shorts a week, doing a certain amount of lives a week, obsessing about viewer retention, watch hours, likes, and gifts and all that crap. Like, no, 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 no. I have problems with administrative tasks in every part of my life because of my ADD. Like, paperwork is my anathema, my enemy. Like, I get anxiety when I see forms with tons of numbers and stuff on it. Like, I'm not an unintelligent person. I just can't stand dealing with that. So why the hell would I look at the analytics page on a channel I put almost no effort into? Like, some people chase that religiously. They live by the social validation that they get on these platforms. Or they have ulterior motives where they want to turn into a brand. They want to be subsidized by their partnerships with Chinese companies selling crap. Like, and I can't respect that. Like, I respect the grind and being able to use the platform as some way that you can generate income, but I mean, there's no accounting for taste, I guess. I don't like those sort of channels. But yeah, I'm not trying to grow mine in any means. And so any of the subscribers I have, any of the growth I have is organic. I've noticed that I typically pick up 1 to 2 subscribers. Okay. I'll finish my thought first before I get onto that RLC. But like, I typically gain 1 or 2 new subscribers per hour of live stream that I do, and that is still blowing my mind because I haven't been putting the effort into my shorts lately, with rare exception. I haven't been putting the effort into any long forms, so almost all of my channel growth this year has been doing live streams and stuff like this, or cooking on a stove in the back of my car, or fishing in an inflatable kayak, or whatever. But to get to your question, stealth camping is trying to surreptitiously camp in an area that is non-traditional or non-permissible. That does not always mean outright trespassing, but it could mean overstaying your welcome on public property, whether it's city or state owned, things that don't have posted hours of access that are known to be publicly accessible. It could be behind your local grocery store. It could be in the display shed at the local Home Depot or home builders place. I don't know what you call them over in Europe. But basically, camping in a non-standard environment. And the more exposed, the riskier. Typically, the better those channels do and perform, because there's the element of potentially getting caught. There are some, like, blatant trespassing things, like trying to sleep inside a store after hours. But then there are other things where you're trying to get away with a heavily trafficked public park, I did one where I slept beneath the tail fins of a decommissioned ballistic nuclear missile. One of the first ones that the United States ever made back in the late 50s or early 50s, with the German scientists that we took after World War II. Werner von Braun specifically. It was his second version of his V-2 rocket, but made for the U.S. And there's one on public display in New Hampshire. And so I went and I actually slept in my sleeping bag and my bivy bag below the tail fin assembly of this rocket. In the middle of a public park, in the middle of a town, at the intersection of 3 roads. Like, I could not have been more exposed, because this missile was set up on a concrete pad. And so I ended up putting camouflage netting that matched the paint scheme of the missile to give myself a little bit of privacy, and I did it on Halloween. And posting that video last October, it's still only got about 150 views. I put an incredible amount of time and effort into that video and that camp. But I got a copyright warning for a section of music I used in it, and I think the algorithm's been suppressing that video. But it was really fun. But yeah, so stealth camping is basically camping anywhere non-traditional and trying to get away with it without, getting trespassed or arrested. I mean, obviously, most stealth campers, especially the YouTubers, will stay away from private property specifically for those reasons. But they try to push the boundaries. And there's a lot of really funny stealth camper channels out there. That's amazing. The gentleman that popped in earlier with the handle Old Dirty Booner, his channel is called Camp Like a Boon. I believe it's spelled B-E-U-N. He's Dutch. And he is just a funny, good-natured guy that, he's camped in historical battlefields all over Europe. He gets access to some really cool places. He's done them on top of monuments that were under construction, church bell towers on scaffolding, underneath the eaves of automobile bridges over rivers, rooftops of convenience stores, in the woods behind, you name it. That's what they do. That's what we do. I've been doing stealth camping more out of necessity, just because I get sick of camping in my car and I'm looking for a change of venue. And for example, maybe I can't find a campsite on a dispersed forest road. Maybe they're all taken up. I'll just have to find a place, leave the car, hike a mile or 2 in the woods, and then pitch my tent or my hammock wherever. That I consider more wild camping. But stealth camping is intentionally camping in places you're not supposed to be, where there is also the risk of getting caught. That's what makes it interesting. Oh no, my phone died.